Let's everybody grab our bow resistance bands and anchor them to a low anchor point for this workout. Now you can see that I've got both handles connected to one side and I'm training from here. Assisted sit-up, this one's a relatively easy exercise, particularly suitable for beginners. Just make sure you start with ample tension on your resistance bands. Your legs are nice and straight in front of you, toes are pointing up, and all we're doing is we're just dropping all the way back down to that supine position and then lifting ourselves up into a sit-up with a neutral back. So we're not actually curling up, we're just coming back up with a neutral spine. Arms remain soft straight for this exercise. Your turn to try it. Seated Russian twist for this exercise. So starting with ample tension on my resistance bands and my legs nice and straight in front of me. And all I'm doing is I'm taking my hands from one oblique over to the other, thereby creating that tension in the obliques and in the intercostals as well. Make sure that your back remains neutral, so we want to make sure that we're not hunching over in particular, and nice controlled motion with the arms. Your turn to try this one. Working some pullover crunches for this exercise. You can see I've got my arms soft straight, and what I'm doing is I'm crunching and bringing my hands over to one knee. And then when I go back, I'm gonna get the pullover going again, and when I do the crunch, I'm gonna go to the opposite knee. And we're gonna keep alternating from left to right. Your turn to try it. Pullover and a simultaneous glutes bridge for this exercise. So you can see I'm starting the pullover and keeping the arms soft straight, and I'm splitting the handles and going into the glutes bridge at the same time. Got to make sure that we create a straight line from your knee to your shoulder once you get to the top of that glutes bridge. Your turn to try it. starting in my supine position with my arms vertical and straight, I'm just going to go into some scissor kicks. So very important to try to keep your knees nice and straight for this one, and just controlled movement. Keep your lower back pinned against the floor. Your turn to try it. Going into a basic side plank for this exercise, but you can see that I'm using my upper arm to keep the resistance bands nice and tight, and just a little bit more tension and just a little bit different focus to a traditional side plank. You can see that my feet are stacked together, but if you're uncomfortable doing it that way, you can place your upper foot in front of the lower one. Let's get you guys to have a go at this on both sides. alligator knee strikes or side knee strikes, if you like, for this one from a 3 points position. So you can see I'm starting with my active leg straight, and then I'm throwing a knee strike outside of my elbow. So I'm really getting that engagement of the obliques for this. I'm extending back out to a straight leg and going again. We want to try this one on both sides. Your turn. Getting into some crunches for this exercise with straight arms. So you can see that my arms are remaining vertical, and all I'm trying to do is push my arms up and go into that crunch. You can see the knees are bent, feet are nice and parallel, and my lower back is pinned against the floor. Your turn to try it. your feet hooked into the stirrups, we're going to work some tabletop crunches. So this is going to add a little bit of extra pressure, in particular in the hips and the lower abs, because you're locking your tabletop in place. And then we just want to work some abs crunches from here. So very important, keep your elbows nice and wide. We just want to look up and make sure that your lower back is pinned right against the floor so there's no arching and there's no pressure in the lower back. Your turn to try this one. So we're going to go into a supine abs plank for this one, and we're going to work some rainbow arms. So you can see that the arms are going from left to right, and they're actually remaining soft straight, so there's no additional bend in the elbows, and I'm basically just drawing a rainbow on top of me. Your turn to try this one. working some resistance band candles for this one. So you can see I'm not going all the way up, they're more like pulses, but the candles are about halfway up and then I'm dropping my back down to the floor and lifting again. Very important to try to keep your knees nice and straight, and you can see that I've got my arms by my side for support as well. Your turn to try this one. Holding an isometric abs crunch for this one. So this looks like a very simplistic move because it's easy to get into position, but it's actually quite a difficult exercise. So by using the resistance bands, you're locking up your lower abs and your hips, so you've got some tension there. And by lifting the shoulder blades and extending the arms right up, you're locking the upper abs. So it's a comprehensive isometric abs exercise. Your turn to try this one. abs tuck from a supine position for this one. So starting lying on the floor, facing up, lower back pinned right up against the ground and just holding onto those resistance bands nice and tight for support. And all I'm doing is bringing my knees in all the way to my chest as far as I can, and then extending right out until my legs are nice and straight. Your turn to try this one. Resistance bands knee strikes from a 3 points position for this one. So you can see the strapped leg is working its way straight and then pulling all the way so that my knee gets as close to my chest as I can get it. Just keeping nice square hips on this one, so I want to make sure that I'm not rotating my hips. Your turn to try this on both sides. Starting in a supine position with vertical arms, I'm going to go into some rollovers. So you can see the rollover only comes up to my hand and then it releases back close to the floor. Got to make sure that you keep your knees nice and straight for this one. And if you're having a little bit of trouble with your lower back, just finish with your legs a little bit higher. So don't get your heels very close to the ground for this one. Your turn to try it for yourself.
Well done for finishing your workout, guys. Please take a few minutes to stretch and cool your body down now.
If you enjoyed this workout segment, please assist us by liking and sharing. Remember to subscribe for your daily workout fix.